Hello, sunshine. Welcome to Be Visible with Veronica, the podcast where bold conversations and soul-aligned strategy help you awaken your most powerful self. I'm your host, Veronica Bond. Get ready to stop dimming your light, own your magic, and finally be so visible you can't be ignored. Let's get visible. Hello, sunshine. Welcome back to Be Visible with Veronica. This is a special impromptu episode where I'm talking with Jennifer Alford, one of the very first guests we had on Be Visible with Veronica. We're coming up on 1 year, and we were talking in studio. Not only has she been an incredible makeup artist for myself and the guests here, when we invited her to share her entrepreneurial journey on the show, we were sharing about this app she wanted to create, and we were going to have her back by the end of the year. And here we are. I'm anxious to hear how that's going. But more importantly, she had some questions for me, so I thought I would turn this episode over to her. Welcome, Jennifer.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So I was doing some research, aka trolling on Instagram, and it was curious because as I was looking through your pictures and looking through your posts and seeing the kind of evolution of this podcast, it brought me back to the impetus for the podcast, which is to be visible. And my first question that kind of came to mind was, where did that originally come from? How old is that for the people that aren't familiar with you intimately? I'm curious to have you kind of flesh that out a little bit more.
We're going right there quickly.
Absolutely.
Okay, right there quickly. I've had an opportunity to think about that. And Be Visible with Veronica came from a conversation I had with my brother who passed away in October of 24. And it was that 10-month journey with him. I call it walking beside him on his death journey. Mm-hmm. He passed away from colon cancer at 55, really young. And we would have these late night hospital conversations, and he would share stories with me about the impact women are making in the world and how they need to be seen and heard in a different way, how they need to be lifted up, how he didn't feel he did a good enough job as a man for women he knew. And he said, "Don't you worry, I've got you and sis on the other side.
That's wonderful.
And I will be there with you." And he challenged me to create a platform for women to share their voice and their stories. But the more I started talking about the visible piece, the visibility, what I realized is I've been saying, be so visible you can't be ignored for a while. Mm-hmm. And it's been part of my messaging and my marketing for years, 10 plus. And actually, I got it trademarked. I went through the legal process to have it officially trademarked and accepted. So I'm proud of that. But also, I kept thinking, where's this visible piece coming from? Because it keeps showing up in my peripheral. It's always part of my languaging and what I'm doing and my keynote. And in mining that story a little more, in creating a new keynote, Visibility Isn't Vanity, It's Vital, and then the visibility quiz, all this languaging around why. Mm-hmm. And what I realized is, even as a young girl, there were times when, as loud and boisterous as I was, and how I always wanted to shine, and I wouldn't say be the center of attention, but I was the firstborn grandchild, and I had a lot of attention, and I just always knew that there was something in me that was meant to change lives. Mm-hmm. I even remember laying my hands on an aunt when I was 3 years old, thinking if I just put my hands on her, I could heal her. She'd get better. Mm-hmm. But as I grew up and other grandkids came along and life's, a lot of the conversation around me was, you're such a motor mouth. You don't know when to be quiet. Your light is too bright. You cast a big shadow. So all of these things that I thought I was young, I was suddenly absorbing all the negative things that were coming at me. Mm-hmm. And they could have been said in jest. They could have just been, oh, this fun little thing that somebody said.
But they stick.
And
they're cumulative. And it's almost, there's a word I'm looking for and I can't think of it, systematic, where slowly over time your shine starts to dull. And I completely understand that because I went through the same thing.
And you start to put a lid on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was this whole part of me around, and growing up, oh, that's vanity. Or you get around a bunch of mean girls and she's so stuck up.
Yes.
Or
what makes her so special?
yes. And so you start listening to all of these things. And so who you thought you were when you were this little girl begins to change.
Yes. And you start to become invisible. And you make yourself believe that that's a part of, well, that's the evolution of being a woman, is you're supposed to be seen.
And yet there was this part of me where my parents would talk to me about breaking that glass ceiling, or, okay, you have an A, what about the A plus? Or doing more. And I just always, my mom would always say, just remain your sweet self. And those who are not meant to be in your life will fall away. And those who are will find you. But, you know, when you're a teenager and you're growing through that, it's not easy.
No, it's not easy. It feels like rejection. It feels like a loss that you're never going to recover from.
And when you're in high school, you're trying to make friends and be part of the popular crowd, whatever that looks like. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I was blessed to be a pommy and out in front and all the things. And I remember I moved into a new junior high school. And I didn't know a soul. And I thought, and I was such a tomboy. And I moved into this school and all the girls are in these cute dresses and beautiful outfits and the latest Grapevine and Gloria Vanderbilt jeans. And I'm just sitting here trying to not wear my plaid shirt and jeans. And I know my mom would be like, can we get you something else to wear? And I just didn't see it. And I was, you know, what did my mom know? She's not in junior high anymore.
Yeah, it's different.
Oh, yeah, rude awakening. But I remember running for, I don't know, treasurer or something in 7th grade thinking, well, my thought process was, if they don't know me, they will now. And so I'll create the posters and I'll stand up in stage. And here I am on stage running in 7th grade for the treasurer of my school. I can't believe I'm remembering this story. And I remember I'm sitting kind of slouched in the chair on the stage in those little metal chairs.
Yeah.
And there's the big podium and the principal's up there interviewing everybody. And I look at myself and I'm wearing a velour, looked like a men's sweater. It was a velour, I'll never forget. It was navy and red and it had a little collar on it. And I think I was in corduroys.
Great.
Maybe tennis shoes.
Sounds about right.
But all my competition...
Dresses?
Yes.
Yes. Ultra feminine.
And yes, beautiful,
Yes.
cute hair.
Yeah.
And I remember sitting there going, they're going to call my name in front of all these 7th graders. And I look like a tomboy. And bless my sweet little heart, hadn't developed yet. I just was I was still trying to find myself in this brand new school. But you know what? People knew me and they met me and they'd walk up to me in the hall and go, oh, I voted for you, or hi, Veronica. And so even though I've never struggled with putting myself in uncomfortable situations. Even this podcast is uncomfortable.
That's so wonderful. You and I have very similar backgrounds. I also ran for student council. I moved into a junior high that was mostly not the people that I went to school with, and ran for vice president. And I also. Did you win?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. But did you?
I won. I won against one of the most popular girls in school, and I absolutely loved it. Yeah.
Well, look at that.
But it was a part of that lesson of, coming from a school that I was pretty well known in. Not, I wouldn't say one of the more popular people, but it was, going to a school that was unfamiliar and then walking into a situation that I just kind of had to earn my licks and keep going. But that was, I don't know about you, but this was the time that I experienced that bullying for the first time. And
I had that in 5th and 6th grade.
Yeah, and the push down. And so it was just kind of a constant, it was a fight for a very long time.
And, I watched other girls get bullied and they would go they would go do the little girl things. They would go and they would be quiet on the playground and I'm not going over there to that crowd. And there I was right in the middle of it.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Like flag football with the boys. Let me be the quarterback. I can throw that ball. I can tackle that, whatever. I can pull that flag. I'll get right in the middle of it. And I mean, this is a purely honest moment, but I remember when somebody came up to me and they said something about, have you ever, never mind, I'm not going to share that story. It's kind of it's too personal.
Okay.
I will share that after. But it was a name that somebody called me that was really hard to get over. And I remember it to this day. So they bite. And I'm now a grandma of a 2-year-old little granddaughter. And I think, how do people hurt their world? You know?
Right? It's so, it's a thought that if you have any modicum of kind of soft spot soul, it hurts. Even just to hear about it, it hurts. So I totally understand.
So I think the visibility piece for me has always been there because we have a light that's meant to shine within us.
I 100% agree.
And it took me a long time to find it again. Even though I ran for Miss Arizona when I was 17, but I really did that because my mom was going through cancer and I wanted her to have something to look forward to. And I didn't know how long we had with her. She's still with us, thank God.
That's wonderful.
I know.
That's wonderful.
And she looks like she's in her 60s, which is crazy because I'll be 60 this year. So I look at my mom, I'm like, oh my gosh, I snorted.
That's okay. This conversation we're impromptu. This is the real guts of what I wanted to do with you, was to get to the core of be visible and why it was so important. One of the things that I as I was reading through your posts that stuck with me, it's still running over my brain. Own the typo. I feel like that should be a podcast in and of itself, because it's one of those things that I think hold, in my opinion, women back from being visible, because there's that level of expectation of being perfect and being spot on every single time, no flaws. You come to the table prepared, and I think we kind of miss that. And being visible is ultimately, I think your message, allowing me kind of the frayed edges to kind of show through, because that's what makes us all individual, unique, special. That's our God-given quality that we, as a gifting, from my understanding, it's a gift to give to others. It wasn't a gift that he gave to us,
right? That
it was one to share with others. And so I feel like I loved reading through these posts and kind of glancing and picking the things that really stuck with me, because it reminded me that you and I are so much more similar than I give myself credit for, even because it comes down to that whole imposter thing of showing up and being in the same room with all of these wonderful women. So that brings me to my next question. How do you pick your guests? And it's a two-part. And then what guests do you want to have on in the future that you aspire to bring into this fold?
Love this.
Thanks.
Second question first.
Sure.
So as those of you who are watching this, you see the Hello Sunshine is a little bit of my mantra. It's part of who I am and been for a long time. Again, shining your light, letting it be bold, let it reach people's, and have it be so warm that it touches their heart in a way that changes how they were in the moment they were with you. So when I lead with Hello Sunshine and when I close with it, it's extremely intentional, because I want people to feel a warmth and remind them that they are also a light and they reflect God's light. It's who they are to be. And it's a reminder to myself every time I say it as a mantra, but also it's meant to impact the world globally. So my first guest would be Reese Witherspoon.
I love that.
And the reason why is,
I'll be here.
Okay. Right. And the reason why is because she owns the trademark, or and Bill at Podworks will attest to this, for a podcast.
Yes.
And I wanted to call the podcast Hello Sunshine.
I remember you told me that.
And I thought, well, we'll just name it that anyway. And when I get a cease and desist order, I'll just call up her manager and say, hey, let's have her on the show. And we'll talk about this funny story. And as it would happen, I was talking to my daughter about it. And she said, but Mom, Hello Sunshine is everybody who knows you. They know that's you. But people who don't know you, who this podcast is for around the world, you want to make a global impact, you have to tell them what it's about. So we went through all these iterations of what the name of this could be. And it took me all the way back to my brother when he said, your maiden name means lighthouse and your married name means road to. You need to be the lighthouse. You need to step out of all the titles. You need to stop being shy and hiding in the shadows. You need to come out in front and be Veronica. And I'm like, be visible with Veronica.
Yeah, 100%.
And it was always about interviewing the guests to help them in their visibility and help them stand out. And then those who are listening can find inspiration and tips and stories. And I know they're good because when the producer's taking notes,
that's a good sign. That's a very good sign.
you know that there's something powerful happening in these in-studio conversations. And so Reese Witherspoon would be my amazing guest to be on the show. And then, I should have written the book, Let Them, so Mel Robbins would be second.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I love her. Absolutely love this. I love it.
And I just love how she says, but let me. And I think that goes back to that visibility piece.
Yes. Yeah.
And really important, and I truly believe it, and I love my keynote for speaking on stages is visibility isn't vanity, it's vital. And I speak to that, and I give examples of why. And it's inspirational and impactful and powerful. And women entrepreneurs, if you're going to put yourself out there, let's go all in, girlfriend. Like,
I mean, you have to. I mean, you really have to. 'Cause if you don't, you're selling yourself short. You're selling your people short, your family short, in my opinion.
and you're being selfish.
And you're being selfish, yeah.
Because
you're keeping it close to the chest.
Yes,
yeah.
and people are meant to find you. So the way that I find my guests, everything I do is very intentional and with strategy.
Okay.
I always look at the calendar and also running our eWomen Network chapter here in the Phoenix Scottsdale area for 4 years. I bring in speakers for that as well. What is going on in the world that creates an impact for an entrepreneur who's listening in this timeline right now? And does it have legs? So it's not trendy. It's a conversation that will last. So I'm looking for empowering stories, inspirational stories. Why we go deep. Why did you start your business? What was the catalyst? What made you almost quit?
Those are important stories.
Because getting on that leading edge of growth, but then thinking it's actually your drop-off phase where you're dusting off the resume again and thinking you're going back to the job.
Been there.
Because the goal's not where I know. We've talked about that.
Yeah, we have.
What's the catalyst to move you forward? And I think for me, the fact that we've reached 26 countries in such a short amount of time and over 192 cities. And yes, would I like to have 1,000 subscribers on YouTube right now?
Absolutely.
Amazing. Yeah. We have 156. Would I like to grow and get to? Yes,
close,
but for me, it's whoever is listening, that's who the impact is happening for. It's exactly on purpose on the right time. And so when I look for guests, I'm looking for their story of courage, their willingness to come in and share. And this is why I love doing the in-studio, because we can look at each other's eyes, touch, hold hands if we need to.
Yes.
Yeah, have a tissue by us if we need to.
Which we needed.
We did. It becomes a different kind of conversation. And I love the opportunity to provide makeup and touch-up for those women who aren't comfortable in front of it. Maybe it's the first time they actually stepped in front of a camera and shared their story. And that little lift for me, providing that for them.
That's a huge deal.
It's a huge deal.
I think I never say that I'm doing a makeover. I'm just adding to the perfection. I'm kind of doing the polish, if you will, every single time I do makeup on anyone.
And not everybody asks for it or takes it, and that's okay too.
That's okay.
And I like having it done for myself because, again, it's how you feel and present in the room when you're having these conversations. And I know it changes the voice inflection. It changes the power in the room. It creates a different kind of conversation. It brings out that internal light in that woman that I'm talking to that even she didn't even know she had sometimes, no matter how successful they are. Because we've had bold startups on the show, and we've had 7-figure earners. And they've all been incredible stories with such beautiful impact. And so that's how I look for my guests.
I love that. Well, so speaking of guests, I was, again, one of your first.
Yes, you were.
And in that conversation, we covered some pretty good ground, I think. We had talked about the things that I was working on. I was going through some life transitions, which is not uncommon in this room to discuss. And then also the app that I was looking forward to. It's still in the works. It's a bit more, again, it goes back to this perfection polish, have to get it right, and I just need to do it. So I have dedicated, I am probably 25-30% through it. And so I know I have some work, but I just need to let it go. I need to let me do the thing that I need to do. And just if it's rough the first iteration, that'll be fine. But at least it will be out there, because I know it will add to the conversation and to the value of what people do just in general.
Yes.
So I'm still working on it.
It even came up today. And you asked me a question. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And how cool it would have been to open up my app and have the answer on the app. And we're just going to leave it at that. We're teasing.
We're teasing. But it will be, I'm just so excited. It's going to be super valuable. So we'll see. It's going to be this year. If I call it out, I'm going to say June.
Okay.
Yes, I'm going to say June for the first launch volume.
I already see it there
edition.
For you.
Yes.
It's already there.
It'll be there.
It's already available. People have already downloaded it. I see it.
Yeah, it's already. I love that. You are absolutely right. They're gobbling it up because they just can't not. So yes, I love that.
You just gotta wait for your timeline to catch up with the realization of seeing it, but it's already there.
It's already there.
It exists in some other Metroverse. I don't know.
Yes.
What do we call that? I don't know. DC Comics thing.
Yes. The
Megaverse? Metaverse?
Metaverse?
I don't know.
If you know,
put it in the comments.
Yeah, leave a comment. I don't know.
Something like that. But it's already existing and happening and hugely successful.
And you're already using it.
And I had been for a while.
I know, and I love it.
Me
You're my first user.
I love
Number one fan.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
I am.
She's always a cheerleader. I love it. Well, I appreciate the time that you've taken to speak with me and be so candid and be so honest. I loved, if you guys weren't able to actually watch the podcast, she did get a little teary. And that just is a testament to the person that she is and being so vulnerable and being so visible in this space. So I do appreciate your time and taking this time to be with me, especially because it means a lot.
You're so welcome, Jennifer. I love the idea that you had. So thank you
You're
for
very welcome.
Creating this very impromptu conversation that wasn't planned, but it's perfect.
Nope, it wasn't.
Sometimes what's unplanned is perfect.
Agreed. I would not have thought that coming into this room and having this conversation would have turned out to be this way, and I'm grateful for it.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Well, I don't know what else to say there, so we're just going to end it for now. And if you want to share what your best part was, what your favorite part is, great. If you'd like to leave a comment, I'll answer you back. Thank you for allowing me to be vulnerable with you today. And Jennifer, great question. And we will see you on the next episode of Be Visible with Veronica. Bye for now. Thanks for tuning in to Be Visible with Veronica. If today's episode sparked something in you, share it, tag me, and pass it on. Your presence has power, and the world is better when you let it be seen. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and keep showing up as the unstoppable force you were born to be. I'll see you next time.